What is up YouTube, it's Kingfisher745, and in this video we're going to take a look at the Avengers Age of Ultron Vision Alt. We were waiting for this one because I thought Vision's Alt could be a really solid costume, and I thought maybe, just maybe, there would be a new ability or two where he used a certain hammer. There is not, but still thank you to Matt Sketches for the graphic. And now on to the Avengers Age of Ultron Vision Alternate Costume. First of all, he does get a new class. It's an Infiltrator version, and it's going to cost 74 CP. So quite pricey, I have to say. Then as far as his passives, he's going to have Density Shift, so chance to avoid an attack and gain phased, plus immune to bleeding. Then of course he's a flyer, and he has Gathering Energy, grants an energy charge every round, and nearby energy attacks generate an energy charge. Energy charge says increases the damage of the next energy attack, and it can be applied 5 times. However, all stacks are consumed on the next energy attack. Then because of him starting out in his range interface, he'll have Modulating Density, taking less damage from range attacks, and resistant to critical hits from range attacks. Okay, and finally, his Avengers Age of Ultron passive, On the Side of Life, removes and prevents lockout effects for Avengers Age of Ultron Avengers. So anything like Immobilized or something that locks out a certain type of abilities. Now I have to say, for me, I'm not that impressed. But he does get better as far as his abilities, and he'll benefit from his Age of Ultron teammate as well. So that is something to keep in mind. Now we're going to go ahead and purchase both costumes, get them ready, and then we'll try them out in PvP. The Blaster, by the way, is 63 CP, and the Infiltrator, like I said, is 74. So it won't be cheap. But luckily we had quite a bit of CP saved up. Now if you're wondering which version to buy, that is a very tough choice. Remember, the Blaster will help out your PvP bonuses the most, but you do have to worry about Tacticians. For me, I'm going to equip the Blaster and I'm going to use that class in PvP. And by the way, my ISO 8 setup is going to be 4 times Forceful and 4 times Stalwart. But before we battle, I do want to take a look at his abilities. So first of all, he has Optic Beams. This level 1 causes burning and buff blocker, so removes beneficial status effects from the target and prevents new applications. Definitely a solid level 1, and it's going to help out his level 9 as well, so keep that one in mind. Next we have his melee interface. This is a free action, and it switches his interface to Melee Specialist. This also grants him high density, taking less damage from melee attacks, and resistant to critical hits from melee attacks. This gives him some extra survivability and options, plus of course it allows you to access your second set of skills. We'll take a look at those in just a moment. For his level 6, it's the Microwave Pulse. This is an AoE ranged energy tech attack, and it has Phase Disruption. Does not remove or gain the benefits of Astral Form, Ethereal, Intangible, or Phased. This is a stealthy attack, and it causes radiation exposure and fried circuits. Then for his level 9 Solar Jewel, it's a ranged energy tech attack that has Combustible, so attacks against burning targets are guaranteed to crit. Then it has Deadly Crits, so it deals extra damage on critical hits. It also has Exploit Strain and Exploit Stun. Now this is a one-shot ability. It can easily take down an opponent in one hit. So just keep that in mind, it is very powerful. Then moving on to Vision's melee interface. First we have Physical Disruption. It's an unarmed melee attack that causes incapacitation and straining. It also grants himself Phased, so definitely a very useful ability. Then for his level 2 that allows him to change back to Range Specialist, It once again is a free action, and it grants him modulating density. So we saw this among his passives because he begins the fight as a range specialist. But of course that could come in handy depending on who you face. As for his level 6, he has Intangible Fist. It has deadly crits, phase disruption. It's also stealthy and causes downgrade plus reduced potential to one enemy. So it prevents technology attacks, removes beneficial technology status effects, metal targets gain magnetized, and then he has a chance to lock out a certain set of abilities. Now that's a lockdown move if I've ever seen one. So very solid once again. Then his level 9 General Relativity. It's an AoE ground attack that applies slowed, winded, and straining to all enemies. So there's his abilities, which definitely got better, but there's nothing entirely new. So that was somewhat of a disappointment. But hey, we still have to check him out in PvP, and we'll see how well he does. First of all, I do have to say, early in a tournament, it's very tough to get good matches. We'll do our best, and don't worry, we'll definitely come back to the AOU Vision Alt for certain in later videos. And by that time, we'll be in a much higher league. Now, starting with Thor, I must say, he does often one-shot enemies, so this isn't entirely unlikely. But we absolutely obliterate Molly Hayes, and we get a collateral damage proc. So that's right, we're using 2 blasters and a Safeguard Tactician Agent. I don't know if we're going to stay with using this many blasters, especially with Null probably not being used as much, but I won't change anything until I have to. Either way though, we're going to probably use Black Widow instead of Vision, at least for most of my matches. And speaking of Vision, that was a massive opening hit, so that was pretty impressive. But since it was so fast, we'll go ahead and do one more match, and that'll also get us our PvP roulette spin. So for our next opponents, we're going to get Red Hulk and Squirrel Girl. So quite an interesting team, and they do have magic warding, so they probably have the Skeptic. Okay, they definitely have it. That means at least they're prepared for Null, with the new changes to Meteor Swarm. But on my agent's first turn, we'll use the Vigilante Mask, then the Relentless Rapier on Red Hulk. Now since I have him on defense as well, I'm hoping mine holds up a little bit better than that. But next, with Thor's turn, we'll use a hammer throw. And even though Squirrel Girl's up next, we're going to drop the enemy agent. So that easily takes him down. And following our opponent's turn, we'll once again try a Solar Jewel. It does over 40,000 damage for a second time. And this is right off the bat. So hey, at least Vision's looking pretty impressive damage wise. We'll have to see if that holds up as we go further into the leagues. But right now, it is looking pretty promising. And now for our roulette spin. First of all, they added the Gaseous Glider. And I don't think we managed to win that one, so that wouldn't be too bad just to have. Instead, we win 1 gold. So we'll take it, and that's going to wrap up this video. So I want to thank you all for watching, and ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe. Then until next time, good luck, and take care.